What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Fallout 4 Mods Weekly. This has been a huge week for mods, a huge week for weapon mods. If you guys follow my upcoming mod series, I do post mods that are currently a work in progress in that series. Over the past month or so, that series really started to ramp up. It went from being posted almost once a week to now multiple times each and every week. A majority of those work in progress weapons were weapon mods, and I feel like this was the week where we got them to finally pay some dividends. All those work in progress mods, or at least a bunch of the high quality ones, were released. So more or less what I'm saying is a ton of great weapon mods did come out this week, as well as a ton of great mods in general. This video is going to be a little bit shorter than I otherwise would make it, but I really just included what in my eyes were the best mods to come out this week. I was a little bit more selective in this episode. I was just a little bit more hard pressed for time for this one. Next week it hopefully will return to business as usual. Regardless of that being said, if you guys do enjoy the content, I encourage you to consider subscribing. But with that, let's just jump right into it. So the first mod I do want to show you guys is one I showed you quite a while ago, and that's going to be the 10mm SMG. There's actually a number of these in development, and the other ones are still in development. This is one of the bunch, not the one I've been showing you most recently in upcoming mods. Regardless, as you can see, this weapon is pretty high quality. The textures aren't on par with some of the highest quality mods, but they're definitely good enough in my eyes. Although I can see some people complaining about it, when you actually get it in game for yourself, they're not as bad as they look in pictures and video. Beyond that one potential fault point, I think the weapon is extremely solid. It has a ton of different attachments that really make it feel like the 10mm SMG brought into Fallout 4. You can customize this thing with different barrels, different stocks, different handles, making this into your own personal weapon. Obviously, the 10mm SMG is a very iconic weapon, and that's why even though there's a lot of great releases this week, this is the one that got the most downloads. It's available for both PC and Xbox One, and I definitely recommend you guys check it out. It is integrated to the leveled list, so even if you don't necessarily love the looks of this one and want to wait for one of the higher quality ones, I think this is a great way to kind of spice up your game and bring a little nostalgia into your Fallout 4. So next up, we do have the Vault-Tec MPL. So this is another submachine gun style weapon. This is actually a mod for Fallout New Vegas by this mod author Bloodmeat08. What he has done is taken that mod from Fallout New Vegas, used the model and updated the textures a bit, adding some new attachments and just some new features for the mod as a whole, and now ported it over to Fallout 4. There's technically two versions of this weapon. First and foremost, it's the Vault-Tec or Gunner version. That's the one that looks a little bit more boring. And then the other side of things, you do have the Raider-Tec MPL, which is the one with all those cool attachments that really stands out to me as being much more unique of a weapon and really just a weapon mod in general. As you can see, a number of the different attachments you do have for this thing are a little bit cooler and in my eyes just again more unique than some other weapon mods we do have on the market, as well as one variant actually allows you to make this into a mini flamer, which is really awesome and very unique. I really like the addition of the two different variants of the gun. The Vault-Tec or the Gunner variant is definitely a lower end version. It doesn't do nearly as much damage and the damage cap is much higher on the Raider gun. Regardless, the Raider version is going to spawn in a few set locations on the map as well as on high level raiders, and it really is a ton of fun to use. You can mow down people very quickly with this thing, especially at the higher levels, but I feel like it doesn't feel too overpowered, especially because it's going to be extremely rare in the early parts of the game unless you go out of your way to find one of the ones that are placed in the world, and even those are placed in pretty difficult to get to locations. All around, the Vault-Tec MPL is a great weapon mod. It's one of those that we've really been lacking for a while, like a good SMG mod for Fallout 4. We do have the Tech 9, and I think in addition to that, this is going to be up there on that list of those mods. So then we do have the Waster armor. This is another mod I have been updating you on along the way of its development, but it is now finally ready for release, and I gotta say, this thing is actually much higher quality than I expected, and I had pretty high expectations originally. It just looks that good in game. It is a multi-piece, or I guess modular armor. I'm using 4 different armor pieces here. That's going to be those goggles, the shirt, and then there's kind of another topper shirt. It's kind of hard to tell, but as you can see, there's a kind of gray shirt on the under part there, and then the red shirt is a totally separate armor piece, so you could have that if you wanted to. Personally, I think the red shirt looks much better, so I did include it, as well as you do have gloves, which I haven't said this ever in Fallout 4, but those gloves look really badass. It's kind of weird, and I don't think the video conveys it as well as it is in game, but when you're actually looking at those gloves, it really looks quite good, especially when you're holding some different weapon mods. The armor itself is very cool. It does feel very Fallout 4-ized, like it does belong in the wasteland. It's a little bit dirty, but not too dirty that you look like you're homeless, even though you probably are in Fallout 4. Also, some of the minor features like those elbow pads really make it stand out and feel just a little bit cooler than some of the other outfit mods out there. I'm not typically in love with these types of mods, but this one really stood out to me and is a very great pickup if you are looking for something new to put on your character. So last but certainly not least, the big mod release of the week is the China Lake and Holorifle. So this is actually two weapon mods more or less put into one. First, let's talk about the China Lake. It's a grenade launcher, a pump action grenade launcher, which is a whole category of mods we don't have much of. The only alternative right now being the Remington 870, of course that being a shotgun. Well, this one is going to have custom pump animations on a grenade launcher. It's actually the first pump action animations on Xbox One. And as you can see, it's a pretty cool mod, but even a little bit cooler is the Holorifle. The Holorifle is a gun from Fallout New Vegas. It's from one of the DLCs in that game, and it basically was a modification of a pump action grenade launcher, but changing it to fire energy shots and just being much different. We've seen things like this in Fallout 4 in the past, where the devs will take a base gun and then kind of modify it to make it Fallout 4 themed. Well, what this mod is adding in is both of those guns, the modified version and the base gun itself being the China Lake and the Holorifle. Both of these are extremely cool, each featuring custom animations, although the same animations, and all around this is one of the highest quality weapon mods. They're really just weapon mod combos that we've seen in a long time, both for the uniqueness factor of it, adding in these two weapons, as well as the Holorifle in itself is a very unique and different weapon. And of course the China Lake also is a very unique weapon. We have very few grenade launcher mods for Fallout 4, so the combination of these is a massive release. You should download this. It's on Xbox One and PC right now. They are a ton of fun to use, and it really just has a lot of the even smaller details down. The grenade launcher has a ton of different grenade types, and you have to craft each of these individually. I've criticized other mods for this, but this one definitely gets it right. You can't just use your standard ammo for it. You're going to have to craft individual ammo types if you want to deal that massive damage. The only complaint I do have with this weapon right now, or really the only two complaints, is that one, although those animations look absolutely stunning, they are a bit slow. They need a faster reload animation timer, whether it be kind of a quick mag or something like that, because it does get to be a little bit painstaking after using this weapon for a while. My only other critique is I think the Holorifle should do more damage. For the kind of caliber of weapon it is, being so unique and special, I feel like I should be one-shotting enemies that aren't necessarily legendary, and in its current state it does about the same damage as a fully upgraded sniper, but I feel like it should do a little bit more than that. Regardless, that's going to pretty much wrap it up for this episode of Fallout 4 Mods Weekly. I do hope you guys enjoyed. As always, if you watched to this point in the video, comment honey down below. I think this was a pretty big week for modding. We got a ton of great mods and a ton of nostalgic mods, which is really awesome to see. As always, again, I thank you guys for watching. I do hope you enjoyed again, and I hope to see you all next time. Later.